In the Odyssey, Poseidon agrees to let up on Ulysses if Ulysses builds him a temple in a place where no one has even heard of the ocean. The way Ulysses will know that he's reached that place is to walk inland with an oar on his shoulder until somebody asks him what he's carrying. In the event, the question he gets is, "What's that on your shoulder? A winnowing fan?" Guy Clark has a song about a fisherman in prison for smuggling weed. He lies in his bunk and he thinks about Ulysses, how he picked up his oar and walked away from the sea. Till someone said, "You ain't from around here, are ya?" That's how far he thinks he must be. Can you imagine listening to a country station and hearing those lines for the first time? I thought I'd been transported to an alternate universe. And so it was that when I heard Guy Clark was in town, I got tickets for Carol and me. He thinks of his wife and thinks of his children, and he thinks about him taking his boat. He thinks about the killer in the bunk below, and he's trying to keep his hopes afloat. The country station I first heard him on went out of business in the 80s, so I didn't know any of his songs except the old ones. But as I listened to the newer ones, I was gradually disappointed that the newer work, as finely crafted as it was, didn't have the textures and complexities, layered intricacies, and high humor of the older stuff. No, I throwed rocks at my truck, which had busted my nose. No, I always knew Kentucky was just passing through. No, you ain't from around here, are ya? I watched the same thing happen to Van Morrison. The songs he's writing now he could once have written in his sleep. Springsteen. He's singing, "What is that sound? What is that noise? I cannot figure it out for the life of me, boys. Is it the Coast Guard or is it the wind? Is it the mothership coming again?" And I wondered, not for the first time, if the same thing wasn't happening to me. Am I writing now as well as I was a few years ago? Or do people just listen to me better because the old stuff earned their attention? And this is where my head was through the second half of Guy Clark's set. Beautiful, well-made songs with catchy, simple melodies and sing-along hooks. But simple, that word again. Like a song whose title seemed to be Stuff That Works. Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe the movement I'm seeing is maturation, migration away from complexity to focus on stuff that works. Maybe maturation is simplification. Or maybe it's learning how to make things look easy. Have I been fighting the wrong battles? He is no smuggler. He is a fisherman. All of his debts they are owed to the sea. Some call it justice, but it ain't right, it ain't. Live and let be. There came a moment when Guy Clark had stopped singing and was playing the guitar coda, and he turned and faced his young accompanist, and you could see them watching each other's fingers on the strings as they played their way out of the song. And I thought of Stephen Dobbins' observation, that every poem is about its own completion. And finally the two players got to a resolution they were both delighted with and ended with a flourish, and even I could see that something truly wonderful had just happened. What is that sound? What is that noise? I cannot figure it out for the life of me, boys. Is it the Coast Guard or is it the wind? Is it the mothership coming again? And it made me sad in a way, because I'm not one of those multi-talented people. Whatever talent I have is for poetry. And in that moment I saw poetry as inferior to music. Because in poetry you can never get that kind of collaboration, never that syncretic melding of two talents to produce something beyond the capability of any one. Never. Poets, by and large, are preternaturally alone. We don't need the oar. We don't need the long trek inland. We need only open our mouth to get, "You ain't from around here, are ya?" He lies in his bunk and he thinks about Ulysses, how he picked up his oar and walked away from the sea. Till someone said, "You ain't from around here, are ya?" That's how far he thinks he must be. And we can only hope that that will be enough to satisfy whatever gods or demons are keeping us from home.